My name is Yan Feng from the Straits Times. I'd like to follow up a little bit on the previous question. If I could direct a question to Mr. Wong. You said that your decision to join, to go into public office in politics, you wanted to help the needy, to help shape public policy. But you were also doing that when you were in civil service. Can you pinpoint to something specific that would be, quite different in each area that you hope to achieve in public office versus being in civil service? And just a part two to that, if elected, is there any issue that you would like to bring to Parliament? Would you continue focusing on energy issues, or would you want to take on sort of a different cause apart from the needy, as you've mentioned? Thanks.
Well, first of all, I am not coming here to be invited into public office. I'm here to stand as a candidate for the coming election. I did not receive any invitation for public office, so I wouldn't speculate on that. I think the priority, therefore, coming in as an MP, and what difference I can make compared to being a civil servant, is that as an MP, you directly are in contact with residents in the community you serve. You can directly make an impact in that estate, whether it's the physical conditions of that estate through whatever means, or even to gather the residents together to strengthen community bonds within that estate, and to reach out more specifically and directly to families who are in need, and through various schemes that have been decentralized, like ComCare, use these schemes effectively to help them. So I think those are very concrete, very real measures which I can do as an MP, but which I will not be involved in as a civil servant. What issues I would like to focus on? I think the economy would be one, because that remains the foundation of Singapore's success, and we are in good economic situation, but I don't think we should be complacent, because we are still very much a little red dot in a volatile, uncertain world. Anything can happen. We have seen disruptions happening in the past, and I think they may continue to happen, will happen, possibly with higher degree of frequency. Look at what happened to Ireland, for example. It used to be praised and touted as a Celtic tiger, and after the crisis, it has faced major setbacks. So I think to highlight issues on the economy, to focus on that, and to make sure that we have a strong economy with good jobs for Singaporeans. The other issue would be to focus on the lower income. As I mentioned earlier, the vulnerable groups. We have already developed programs and schemes. The government has done that, and those programs have evolved and continued to develop, whether it's Workfare or ComCare. I think I would like to push and continue the development of these programs in that direction, so that we have more robust schemes and more robust programs in place to help the lower income groups.
Hi, I'm Cassandra from the Straits Times. This question is for Mr. Ong. Actually, I have two questions. The first is, I think you're the first entrepreneur to actually step forward as a PAP new candidate. Why did you step forward, and why do you think it's the people in the private sector whom the PAP thinks are qualified are more reluctant to step forward? That's one. The second question is, how would you describe the business environment in Singapore, and what do you think can be done to improve the environment? Thank you.
Well, I think, yes, I'm an entrepreneur, but actually I worked in MNC for a while, and came out to take a plunge, and started the marketing consultancy business, and then subsequently sold it off, and then now a publisher. Well, in fact, a big part to play is because I was also very involved in grassroots work. And that helped me to naturally progress into wanting to step forward to be a political candidate. But at the same time, I think that even on the grassroots level, I do find that the way I look at problems and issues on the ground and come up with solutions, we want to embrace different technologies, different concepts to help solve problems, and that helped me in a way. So I think I could come forward to serve better in politics. In terms of the why are they reluctant, where some of them may not want to come forward, I think the reasons are quite obvious. I think there are sacrifices, there are opportunity costs as well. Time is definitely a big thing. I mean, to sacrifice time for family, for some, is a very, very big issue. For others, it could be loss of business. or business cost, or even work performance in companies. Yeah. So, last question about business environment. I think Singapore is a very pro-business. So I think the business environment here is pretty robust. Of course, in terms of SMEs, I'm sure there are concerns on the ground, operational costs, how to leverage on economies of scale, how to get better, transfer of technologies and information flow. But I think I'll try to see what we can do on the ground to make it better and help SMEs to flourish locally as well as regionally. Yeah, thanks.
Safras from Britarian, question for Mr. Ong. At the age of 50, do you think you're a bit too old to join politics? And sir, if I may, one more question for Dr. Intan in Malay. Walaupun para pelajar Melayu telah menunjukkan prestasi yang baik, namun mereka masih ketinggalan jika dibandingkan dengan bangsa-bangsa lain. Apakah rancangan anda untuk menangani masalah ini? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, I'll take the age problem first. Okay. I'm turning 50 next month. All right. So, but I guess that age is just a number. I think as I spoke in Chinese earlier, that age is just a number. I think we should measure our youthfulness with the zest in life, with the energy, the passion, and the compassion that you have for your fellow men. I think that measures your true age. I've seen people in their 70s and they are at prime. They're still running, cycling, and living life to the fullest. And I've seen some in their 30s as well, but may not be that active. So it's not a question of what age you are, but how much you have inside you and where your heart is. I think that's important.
In answer to your question, I will speak in Malay first. Badan Bantu Diri di kalangan masyarakat Melayu Islam kita, terutama Mendaki, telah mengadakan usaha yang baik, usaha yang banyak, dan program-program yang telah menunjukkan kesan positif untuk meningkatkan taraf pendidikan dan pencapaian pendidikan murid-murid Melayu kita. Memang ada ruang untuk mereka menunjukkan prestasi yang lebih baik. Tetapi ini bukanlah sahaja tanggungjawab Mendaki. Saya rasa kita juga harus mendapatkan komitmen dari semua pihak, sama ada ibu bapa, badan bantu diri, pemerintah dan sebagainya. Jadi ini adalah satu usaha yang berterusan. Kita akan teruskan. Mungkin satu cara adalah mendapatkan komitmen yang lebih dari pihak ibu bapa untuk mengambil berat dan lebih menunjukkan minat dalam untuk meningkatkan pencapaian pendidikan anak-anak mereka. I said that self-help organizations in the Malay Muslim community has shown a lot of good effort to improve the academic performance of Malay students, especially Mendaki. And then we must laud their efforts. But of course, there is always room for improvement. But we cannot say that it's the sole responsibility of an organization like Mendaki. I think it requires a lot of collaboration on the parts of stakeholders, whether it's parents, schools, the children themselves, and society. So it's a continuous effort. But the way forward, I believe, is to work together so that even better performance can be shown by the Malay students.